It definitely does tests your endurance, man. Some places don't just challenge your body, they reset your soul. Today, we are trekking one of Karnataka's most beautiful trails, Kudremukh. The trek usually starts from Mulodi village, where basic homestays are available. From the homestay, we boarded a jeep which took us to the forest checkpoint. The checkpoint was roughly 3 kilometers from our homestay. The jeep ride to Kudremukh is an experience in itself and one of the most exciting part of the trek. Expect a bone-rattling ride with sudden jerks and steep climbs that test both the jeep and your nerves. The ride takes around 30 to 45 minutes depending on the road conditions, and by the time you reach at the drop point, your adrenaline is already pumping, perfectly setting the mood for the Kudremukh trek ahead. Forest department permission is mandatory and a guide is compulsory as the trek falls under a protected national park.
Wear on your clothes. It should be visible to local guide.
ಈ ರೋಪ್ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ.
While on the trek, you can carry these things like trekking shoes which has good grip, a rain jacket or a poncho if you are visiting in monsoon season, 2 to 3 liters of water, energy snacks, a cap, sunscreen, basic first aid, power bank, and an ID proof which you need to show at the checkpoint. Kudremukh is one of the most scenic treks in Karnataka, located inside the Kudremukh National Park in the Chikmagalur district. The name Kudremukh literally means horse face, inspired by the shape of the mountain. This trek covers a distance of around 22 kilometers round trip, making it a full day trek. The altitude of Kudremukh peak is 1894 meters above sea level, and it is the third highest peak in Karnataka. So the first stretch is pretty easy. There's nothing much. I mean, you will see open meadows and then you will again enter into the dense forest area. So far so good. Breathing a little heavy because it's early morning. Apart from that, the weather is also pretty pleasant. So yeah, let's keep going. As it's a 22-kilometer round trip, the total time required for ascent is 5 to 6 hours and descent is again 4 to 5 hours. So in a day you would be spending almost 9 to 12 hours on this trek. The trees formed a silent passage as I moved through the woods. The forest welcomed me one step at a time, pulling me forward, wrapping me in their endless green. During the trek, trekkers would come across a lot of water crossings. A rope is provided so that the trekkers can pass through the water streams safely, especially during the monsoon season. The Kudremukh Trek is of moderate difficulty. During winter, the well-marked trail and stable weather make the climb more manageable, though the long distance and continuous ascent still test your stamina. The Kudremukh Trek is mostly popular during the monsoon season. However, difficulty during monsoon season increases significantly due to the presence of mud and leeches on the trail. Almost covered 50% of the trek. The initial was 3 kilometers, 3 or 2.5 kilometers where walk in the park, but man, the last 1 kilometer was exhausting. It was pretty steep, and I don't know if it is capturing on the camera, but that is the peak Kudremukh where we are heading to. So this whole shape actually resembles a horse, and that's why the name Kudremukh. So in Kannada, Kudre means horse and Mukh means face. Okay.
Hi guys. One more thing.
Kudremukh is not just a trek, it's a journey through nature at its purest. If you love long hikes, open landscapes, and peaceful trails, this trek definitely deserves a spot on your list. So far we have climbed almost 5 kilometers, and I think we need to cover another 4 to reach at the peak of the Kudremukh peak. It's almost 10 and we decided to stop and have our lunch in a while. This trail is pretty narrow, and man, I think slightly it's elevating again. Kudremukh trek is mostly, it's not, I would say, a difficult one, but it is definitely a challenging one because it tests your endurance, because it is the longest in the Kudremukh range. So we are back in the forest. So it's like this, it's open meadows, and then you will be back in such forest. There is a water stream ahead.
So another 3 more kilometers. There is also flowing water, so we filled up our water bottles. So try not to fill your water bottles when it is stagnant. If the water is flowing, then yeah, you can fill it up.
After the 6 kilometer mark, the terrain changes significantly, the elevation increases drastically. This is during winters, and that's why the terrain looks mostly dry and is filled with rocks. The rocks here are loose, so it is advisable to wear proper trekking boots or shoes which has better grip. I would suggest boots which has a high ankle that would provide your ankles additional support while ascending or descending.
Almost the last lap. Another 1.5 kilometers to go. Definitely does tests your endurance, man. Came from that side. It's about to reach the peak. I guess it is another 600 to 700 meters. Before this, around 200-300 meters was a pretty steep ascent, and definitely your knees would give up at some point or another. But this last, I think 600 or 700, not really sure, looks pretty flat to me. So right now it's 11, so we should be at the last peak in another 20 minutes. Yeah. So finally at the top. We actually stopped before the final ascent. We had lunch and then we started ascending. So basically that was another 100 meters. Man, currently the time is 12. We started 7:30, I think. So yeah, it took a lot of time. Yeah, mostly because we took a lot of stops.
Reaching the summit feels truly rewarding. Standing at the top, above the clouds, you realize why Kudremukh is considered one of the most beautiful trek in South India.
So finally reached at the base camp. Currently the time is 5 p.m. We started around 1 o'clock and it took us almost 4 hours to reach at the base camp. And man, that was so fucking tiring. It really pushes you to a limit where you question yourself, why did you come to this trek? So from here, the whole batch has not come yet. So probably we need to wait for a while. I'm not sure. So once they come, then we'll go back to our homestay, and from there, after getting freshened up, we'll head back to Bangalore.